Hey, it's Mikey from Rockin' K. We're getting ready to do our weekly roundup of our life here in Germany for the week. So that is coming up.
See you soon.
Hey, yo, it's another Coffee with the K's. So you can see Moose in the background on a perch. Although he's not supposed to be on the tables, he is there anyway.
He kind of does what he wants.
So it's been an okay week. Not too awful busy. Somewhat destructive. We started back on the renovations.
Yeah.
But before I did that, of course, I got about half of the firewood in, and some of it cut. So we're making headway on the firewood. So on to cutting the floor. If you watched Friday, or I'm sorry, Saturday, because I posted it up Saturday, I got the chainsaw powered stone cutting saw.
Yeah, Friday night he got it.
And I'll tell you what, between it being loud, the exhaust, the water,
It's heavy.
it was a mess. But all the cutting is done in the laundry room.
Now we just got to pop all the
So
cement out.
we popped out two sections, found out that the rebar that they put in the floor wasn't even in the cement.
Yeah.
It was underneath the cement. So the floor didn't crack or anything because they did a thick pour, albeit shoddy, but thick. So I am hoping that the rest of the rebar, is underneath the floor. It makes it a lot easier to get it out. But then again, I really would prefer if it was in the cement, because then I know that the cement's not going to crack. At any rate, when we put it back together, we'll fill the trenches with sand, put the pipes in it, cover them up with the sand, compact it a little bit, and then I will put some rebar in the cement that I do put back in these holes so that it's a little bit stronger. Excuse me, a little bit hoarse. So going into next week, I will be using the jackhammer again, the pogo stick, to chip the trench. I'm going to try to break it into a couple of large pieces. It's a lot easier for the cleanup. We'll see how that works. I'm really not sure how that's going to work. I was saying she had to help the border collie was stuck.
He was
He
four-wheeling it and not going anywhere.
he walks on the bottom of these tables and they're metal, and
He gets no traction.
He can't get any grip, so he got himself stuck.
Yeah. Between the chair and the table.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, we're plodding along, and I'll probably start cutting maybe in the bathroom. That pipe is in the way, so this first section has to happen first, and we can get all the fresh water set up so that I can cut that other fresh water.
He also has to drill through a basement wall.
Yes, because, and you'll see in the video that the route of all the new water is going to hit a manifold in the basement, and then there's going to be end to end. It's going to be point to point off the manifold, and one line will go directly to the faucet.
Yeah.
One line will go directly to the toilet. One line will go directly to the wash machine. There'll be no joints in between. It's a little better and a little safer when it comes to leak-wise, because I am using a PEX piping. I'm using PEX Alu PEX, which is a little bit different than what you guys normally use there in America. It is a PEX product, so it is the plastic style, but it has an aluminum sleeve down the middle, which makes it's a little more robust. But at any rate, it's going to be an end-to-end type setup so that it minimizes the potential for any leaks anywhere. This will be a one and done. It is a little,
our lifetime.
it is a little cheaper because, you know, when you do take into account any of the 90-degree fittings or the end fittings or any of this and the T fittings, they do run like 10 between. So a 90-degree is like, I don't know, like $7 or $8 a pop, and a T fitting is probably about 10 to 15, depending upon where you get it, who you get it from, stuff like that, how many you buy. So I priced it out, and it was probably about like $800 for all the fittings and the pipe. I think this route we're coming in around $500, something like that, because we reduced the number of fittings by that much. And the pipe is cheap. You can get, for that difference, I can get twice the amount of pipe. So
have we decided on in-floor heating?
We're going to do an in-floor heating loop in the bathroom. It's going to be a little bit different. It's not actually going to run off a heating manifold, a floor heating manifold. What's going to happen is there is going to be a radiator in the bathroom, just on the wall, and the routing for the heating is actually going to be, it will come into the radiator and then out through a floor coil. So what happens is most of the heat is taken out of the water by the radiator. However, additional heat will end up in the floor, and we're using a special piping for in the floor because we're going a little hotter than the typical high temp of 45 degrees Celsius. So in order for that, we have to use instead of using the straight up PEX pipe, which is like what's in this floor, is just a plastic tubing, no aluminum liner or anything like that. We're actually using the style of tubing in the floor with the aluminum liner. That'll allow us to not have to do as thick of a pour on the estrish. And it allows us to let the floor get a little bit warmer than it would typically be. The temperature will be controlled in the room, believe it or not, by the radiator. The radiator control in the room, because honestly, if the room is 20 degrees Celsius, the room is 20 degrees Celsius, right? It doesn't matter if it's the floor or if it's the radiator that's heating the room. It works. I'll videotape it. I'll video all of that install so you can see how exactly we did the routing and everything. It's not a preferred method, but it's a method that does work. So I have seen it before. It's just I've never had a floor like that before. Like this floor in here, we have a manifold that's in the wood barn, and if you watch my wood boiler stuff, you can see where we set up the mixer to put at present 35 degrees Celsius water through the floor. And only 35 degrees Celsius. In fact, the mixer stops at 45 degrees. If it hits 45 degrees, it stops all water movement as a safeguard, because the PEX itself really isn't that cool with anything over 45 degrees Celsius in that type of a use. So it stops us from destroying the tubing in the floor, which is a good thing. We have the Christmas season, of course, is here, and Christmas is coming up. We're not 100% sure when it comes to video-wise how it's going to work, whether we put out a video on Christmas or not. Maybe I'll put out a little short. Maybe we'll do a little something, but I don't see a large or like a full-on video coming out on Christmas. I will be videoing all the floor this week. because it's happening. So
Yeah.
we're back on this on the renovation. I'm so glad to be back on the renovation, but then again, I'm like, here we go, because it's not easy work. That chainsaw / stone cutter is heavy.
And that's all work he has to do alone. I can't help him with it. So that makes it harder on him too.
And you want to talk about messy. So
Oh yeah.
What you can't see it on the camera, but when I was cutting the lines from the wall towards the camera, the backsplash off of the saw just absolutely painted my phone, the tripod. It was absolutely covered. I had to wipe my phone down in order to keep using it. And well, lesson learned, keep it out of the line of fire. Good times.
It's very loud, very, very loud. I had to sit here with shooter's earmuffs on.
Yeah, because all we had was a piece of plastic over the doorway. And even though I was surprised, even though there was water to cool the blade and stuff like that, and it actually keeps the dust down, there was a lot of dust kicked up.
And not a lot of water.
Surprised.
I was surprised about. I thought there'd be more water.
Well, the water was able to go through the cuts in the floor and actually go down and into the dirt. So
we did find the kitten has officially gotten his first kill. He killed a mouse.
Yeah, when we were moving everything out to do the floor,
we found his victim. So he's now officially
a mouser.
But it was in the house, so I'm glad he did it.
On to YouTube business. So it is gaining traction, a lot of traction.
Yeah.
We are at 273 subscribers as of the beginning of this video.
Yep.
With 23,000 views and 1.3 thousand hours of view time.
Which brings us to, please, if you like our content, like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Hit the notification button so you know every time we put something out.
You will hear, and it's not just us, it's almost all YouTubers.
Yeah.
80% of their views come from people that aren't subscribed.
Yeah.
It's free. It helps channels grow because it changes the algorithm up. It gets that channel out a little more.
It makes us happy.
And hey, I towards the beginning I was thinking, wow, we're not picking up steam.
Yeah.
Because I've seen other channels that have come out and just boom, they're monetized. They're at 10,000 subscribers and this and that. And I'm like, man, maybe I'm not that good at this YouTube thing. And
but to be fair,
I think I think we're finding our audience now.
Yeah.
And that's why it's taken off. The algorithm and everything is finding the audience. And honestly, our channel is just about just doing our thing here in Germany.
Yeah.
Building a life for ourselves here, our house, our
animals, our hobbies.
Are moving to self-reliance on the like the off-grid type thing, where I don't rely on oil for heat anymore.
Yeah.
We haven't used an oil heater in now 4 years, I think it is. We do rely on the power company for now to run our pumps and fans for the heating system, but that's going to change as well.
But that's a big ticket item, so we have to plan out for that.
Yeah, so we've been spending the money, and so I'm hoping in the spring that the solar panels go up, and I have the batteries, I have the inverter, I have all the setup. It's the panels are next, and I'm looking at getting 4,000 watts worth of panels, so that.
We don't depend on the electric company so much.
We can move a bulk of our house onto it. It's going to be a hybrid standalone system.
Yeah.
First off, I'm going to feed nothing back to the grid. It's all going to be for us or not. And in that, we'll have right now we have 13.4 kilowatt hours worth of batteries, which will carry us a day or two on the loads that we want to put on it at present. For the most part, it's going to run refrigerators,
Washing
the
machine,
garage door openers,
the
stuff
lights,
that
the lights
stuff
in the
that we
barn.
want, stuff that we want to make sure we have power to at all times.
Yeah,
Plus, it's going to run the warm pump for our hot water, our domestic hot water, and it's going to run the
wood burner.
the wood burner, the Holtz oven, the wood oven. Yeah, because right now, I think I factored it, and we're well below 100 watts of electricity required to actually operate the heating system, because we're running 2 pumps, and they're running like around 11 or 12 watts a piece. And then I think I looked at the oven, and the oven was like 60 watts.
But the thing is that will completely remove our heating from the electrical grid. So if the power goes out, it's not a big deal.
We always have heat.
Yeah, we'll have heat. We have oil lamps, so we'll always have lights.
And
but it will remove that chunk of change from, and everywhere I think in the world, the cost of electricity keeps going up.
yeah, we're at 41 cents per kilowatt hour right now.
So,
and I know you guys in the States, you're at like 10 cents,
Yeah.
and 12 cents, and you're complaining. I am 4 times that right now. So electricity is expensive over here.
Yeah.
And the more we move on to the solar system, the better.
Yep. I mean, we've changed out all of our lights to LEDs, which has helped a lot. Our appliances are all the highest energy efficient you can get to reduce that. And we personally pay a lot less than most Americans that live here because we've taken those measures to reduce those costs.
So here the people, the locals, the Germans know that electricity is expensive.
Yeah.
So, and it always has been for them. Like, we went from 2 years ago, it was 24 cents per kilowatt hour to 30 something cents per kilowatt hour to 40 or 41 cents per kilowatt hour. So to begin with, we were about 2.5 times the price of what you guys typically pay in America. So these guys, and I say these guys, I mean the Germans, know that electricity is expensive, so they are very efficient in the way they use their electricity, and they're very diligent on turning lights on and off and things like that. Sorry to say, but because Americans are used to paying only 10 cents per kilowatt hour, they use some electricity. And, I can remember when I first came here, they're telling us, the electricity is going to cost you $200, $300, $400 a month. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Holy crap. So anyway, our first electric bills came in, and they were around 200 something euro. And I was like, oh, wow. I used to have an electric bill like that when I ran my air conditioner in Arizona.
Yeah, in the summer.
But I wasn't running an air conditioner. I was just, living
the
the day to day.
Refrigerator and the dishwasher.
Living the day to day. So
yeah.
Back then, we converted all of our lighting to LED at that point, and we were becoming very conscious about what we used electricity wise, because I couldn't understand paying 250 euro a month for electricity. So we got it down, and we were down to the 100-ish range. Yeah. But then the prices went up, so we really couldn't tailor our usage down that much more. We switched over from an American dryer to a condensing style dryer, German condensing style dryer, which actually reduced our bill by about 20 euro a month. We went from the big large American style refrigerator freezer to a built-in German style, European style, where it's not that big. About half the size of a normal American, refrigerator.
And has no freezer on it. It's just a refrigerator.
And our electric bill went down like 30 euro a month. Yeah. You don't think that
Then our old stove gave up the ghost one day. And so we went and we had to buy a new stove and range top. And it went down another like 30.
No, it went down a little bit. I don't think it was as much as 30, but we actually reduced our overall usage. The problem is the price went up. Yeah. And then we adjusted our usage, and the cost came back down, so that it was a zero-sum game. So we're paying a lot for electricity. And, that whole rant was just about we're going to try to move everything over onto solar. They do have this balcony solar program here where you're allowed to put, I'm hoping 800 in January,
Yeah.
but right now it's 600 watts of solar on your house without any type of permits, you use the micro inverters that plug into the outlet on your house, and you're allowed to put up to 600 watts on your house without any permits. You just have to give them the model number and serial number of your inverter and its capacity, and they okay your system.
Yeah.
And hopefully it goes up to 800 in January. They keep saying it's going to 800. And if it does, of course, I'll be doing 800 watts. But that will offset some of the usage to, because a lot of times during the day is when our dishwasher runs or our washer dryer runs.
Yeah.
So 800 watts is 800 watts. So if we can plan to use it at peak times where we can use that 800 watts, that's a lot of energy
But we
savings,
even
because that's we pay 41 cents per kilowatt hour, so that's probably 30 cents worth of electricity per hour that we could save if we're running the solar system.
But even with the dryer in the summertime, we hang the clothes on a line so that we don't use that dryer. There's a lot of things that we do to not use the electric. Luckily for us here where we live, in the summertime, the sun doesn't go down until 11:30, 12 o'clock at night.
About 11-ish.
So you don't need to worry about using indoor lights and things like that. But in the wintertime, it doesn't get light until 8 o'clock in the morning, and it gets dark at 5 at night.
Yep.
So in the wintertime, we use more power because of that. We don't have to worry about paying the offset of oil because we have the wood. And that's really helped on saving money.
Yeah, but at any rate, so that's why we're moving towards solar.
Yeah.
It's very expensive here. I'm going to move as much as I can to a standalone system. It's kind of, weaving through the laws associated with solar. When when we do the roof, when we redo the actual roof and everything, we'll probably look at having a large system installed on the house. But until that point, we'll use a standalone system that's going to power mostly the garage and the heating and stuff like that, and potentially move about 40% to 50% of our usages off onto that and lower our overall cost. But that's future stuff.
Yeah.
We'll get there, but like we said, that whole thing was just about we're trying to do the off-grid thing because self-reliance is a lot better than relying on somebody, because if the electricity goes out, I don't want to be cold.
Yeah.
If the electricity goes out, I want to be able to use some of the niceties like, I don't know, a stove, things like that.
We have a generator, so we would not be totally lost, but you still got to put gas in that. So with the solar, you just dependent on the sun, or even on cloudy days. They do work, on the cloudy days. Some systems better, but like this new year coming up, we'll be putting a steer in the field that will be
a cow.
It's a move to self-sufficiency and not worrying about. We'll have that fresh beef that we know is 100% organic, and it's not got the chemicals and the
hormones. We know where it came from and all that.
So that'll be, you'll see more of that this year. Potentially, we really haven't decided. We will put the chicken coop back in, get chickens again, but we want to make that system totally automated. So that's going to take a little bit longer time to plan it out and
when
get it built.
When she means automated, she means the opening closing of the door and
feeding
things like
and
that.
Watering.
This way we don't have to worry about the safety or the health of the animals. Yeah. We just need to make sure we keep everything full, keep everything working. And it's not for being lazy, it's just for being 100% sure that those animals are well taken care of. Because, you know, when it comes to animal husbandry, you're responsible for that animal.
Yes.
Whether you're using it for food or not, you got to take care of your animals.
And like I said, with the changing of the sunlight here, you know, I don't let my chickens out till the sun comes up. Well,
We're
in
at
the
work.
wintertime, I'm already at work. I'm at work at 6:30 in the morning. The sun doesn't come up till 8, and I can't leave work and come home and let the chickens out. And I don't leave them in their chicken coop all day. It's not good for them. It's not healthy. So having an automatic door, having an automatic feeder, automatic water, you know that when their food and water gets low, it's going to drop it. They're never going to be without those
Yep.
things. When the sun comes up, the door opens up. When the sun goes down, the door goes down.
Yep.
And it's more for to make sure that the chickens live a quality of life because they're giving us free eggs.
Yep. So, but anyway, we've gone down the rabbit hole a couple of times, literally. But that's where we are, where we're going, kind of what's going on. We are moving forward on the renovation. Finally, I'm
Yes.
very happy about that. So, you know, look forward to more content on that coming up this week.
Yeah. No more firewood.
Well, I'll give you little glimpses of the firewood because, man, it's a lot of firewood. So, yeah, until the next time, if you're thinking about family, you're thinking about friends, give them the what's up or the what's at. You know you'd like to hear from them as well. And until the next one, auf Wiedersehen.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
You'll get that next week from me.